Welcome back to Pooks Books, where we bring different groups of friends together, one story at a time. Let's dive into September's F4 corner. It's Charisma.
Sajin.
He won.
The reason why we called ourselves F4, why? What was the reason?
Because you're full, four of us,
Mm,
and each character really reflects our like in real life characterness.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Yeah, look at the look of Baekhyun.
um,
we have another member of the F4, which is Doris. Dory Pooks.
Yeah, she's busy pottering 3D stuff.
Yeah, oh, that's perfect because she does do pottery, but in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the four of us met in college in art school. Me and Prince Song were roommates, and then
Yeah.
we all lived in the same like dorm building our second year, and we just got closer immediately.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah,
That was so fun.
it was.
Yeah, the night four of us like meeting for the first time together, then you and Doris was drinking and we were having pacha.
Yes.
Close to
Oh
this
my.
time of the year. It
Yeah,
was like so cold.
it was in the basement
Mm.
where I brought Pacha. But the rest is history. We got super close and we traveled together.
We did
More.
a word tour.
We
We did
did,
a
yeah.
world tour. I loved Pixar and Disney, but I think Eurotrip I don't think anything can beat Eurotrip.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a different experience. We'll do it again for Asia tour.
Okay.
Kiki Corn, make it work.
Just because Jumpyo, you're gonna be in Korea for a while, that doesn't mean.
Make it work.
And then we naturally became F4.
Actually, Jiho Sanbae is the one who connected to everyone. Because you introduced Sejin Jumpyo to me.
That's true, but
And Pottery Guy too.
Jumpyo introduced Pottery Guy to me. So it was like ding
Mm.
ding
It's
ding.
like all connected.
Yeah, and then we became F4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all in separate places. Yeah, we're still keeping in touch.
I actually really like how we still keep in touch. No, I didn't expect for the birthday gift too.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
and
we
my
should.
sister said thank you for the band-aids.
You're
She
welcome.
screamed.
Band-Aid?
When I was like shipping the package, I had to stop by CVS first, and I saw Bluey Band-Aids, and I thought of her
Aw.
sister, and I was like, oh, let me
She
get
likes
that.
it?
Yeah.
She loves
She's
Bluey.
I thought you were the only adult who likes Bluey.
There's a group of us that likes Bluey. But Bluey's good, guys. It's so
Yeah.
good. We have to get Doris Crocs too. I really have to think about what she would like.
We have 6 months to
Yeah.
think about it.
Thinking of
Would you
cars.
would
Or
you want
dumpling.
another Crocs?
Me? No, I already have Crocs.
You don't have silver
They're not
one.
silver.
You both was silver by accident. It wasn't like purposefully done.
It
Well,
was
we'll
so
make it
funny.
into Destiny.
This all started because of Mr. No. Because you like that artist.
Well, I did not
I
know that he
still don't
would
know
do
his
the
name.
collaboration. Kenny
Kenny.
Sharp,
Oh, Kenny, I
my dear
suggest.
friend Kenny. You even took a picture with him together.
We were debating what to get you. And then I was on the Crocs website and I searched for flower and then Kanish Crocs popped up. And I was like, guys, look, Hemon likes Skinny Sharp. We should get her. We should show them a little charm.
Wait, let me grab.
Doris will soon.
Oh, it's not
Hemon has
capturing me.
disappeared. I ordered Hewon's first, and then when we decided to get you Crocs as well, I was like, okay, might as well get three charms, one for each one.
She really meant it because, you know, I opened it at her house and I remember her saying, "This is actually really cute. I want one too." She really meant it. We are also had this 1 week long activity called Work, Work, Twerk. Only
What
1 week,
is that?
which we had to work 3 hours a day, daily. And every Wednesday, we have to record ourselves time lapse,
Who came
proving
up
that
with all
we're
that?
me. But
She was
once Kari had to take off because of her work, Junpei also took, took
for
it off.
moral support.
Because we're in this together. When she's back, I'll be back.
Yeah, after Jumpio comes here and leaves, I will be back. But yeah, that's our friendship. That's how we met. And now we're doing book club as another form of staying connected because we're all in different places. So for September, I was the one that picked the book, and it's When You Reach Me by Rebecca Steed or Stead. It's it's a middle school read basically, but the summary was super interesting. Okay, let's let me point out the elephant in the room. We were supposed to read Cleopatra and Frankenstein, but we couldn't get through that. So I had to send an email and change the book. Like, was it a week ago or when was it?
Probably even less than a week.
Less than a week. So we
Yeah, we had some
changed.
complaints about like the overall just book. So they were all from me. We had
Yeah.
to make changes in the selection.
And Hiwan was down for that. And so we changed the book from um Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I also couldn't get through. I couldn't get through the second chapter. And I picked this book because it was a short and easy read. It's basically about this girl named Miranda. She's 12 years old and her mom is about to go on like a TV game show and her mom's practicing for that. And then you also see Miranda dealing with life as a 12-year-old going to school, and her living situation isn't like her classmates and things like that. But then there's a time travel twist. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I read the book using Kindle. I rate it a 4 or like a 3.75 out of 5.
I also read it on Kindle. Absolutely hate the cover. What the fuck is this?
It's
There's
actually, yeah,
it's
it's
nothing.
different.
Literally, it shows that it's nothing, that it's like not even picking it up. I rated a 3. It was okay.
Mm.
But I feel like I would have liked it better if I read it in middle school.
For me, I read it through audiobook, yeah. And I would rate it 2.5 because I
Because
couldn't
you were
really
halfway through.
pick. Well, from the beginning, I don't know. I lost interest.
Mm. Let's get more into that, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
What made you lose interest?
I didn't like how the story started with the family background too much. That
Mm.
doesn't really relate to the what's the book is about, so I got confused.
Can you remind me how it started? I kind
They
of
were
forgot.
talking about Matilda and her mom's boyfriend.
It was Matilda.
Her name is Miranda. Her name is Miranda, actually.
Oopsie. Miranda.
Yeah.
Anyways, and some hospital care. She was working at hospital and they were playing
That's
game.
Louisa?
Louisa.
Yeah.
That's Miranda's, the guy friend? That's his mom that works there.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was a guy?
Sal?
Oh.
Sal.
Yeah.
I
Sal, the
thought you meant
neighbor.
Louisa.
Oh, no, no. Luisa's his mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just didn't like you thought the details about the families were too much, like they were
Yeah,
overdone. Mm.
yeah. There were too many people that I had to like catch up
She just
through.
couldn't keep up with it through audiobook on the day we were supposed to finish.
No, no. He was
It's
good. What was his name? David? Did his good job.
Mm. Maybe it was like too much information for one sitting.
But overall, it was nice to listen to the book that I could get through 50% of the book.
Which part did you reach? Do you remember like the last thing that you listened to?
she's not liking
Second
all these
note.
questions.
Second note.
The second note, gotcha.
Uh,
Okay. Just so we know what you missed out on, and then we'll talk more about that. Yeah. Not to put you on the spot, Mr. No. I'm just I'm just asking. So far reading it, you gave it 2.5.
I think
Okay.
I think because I really liked the first book a lot. It was like
Yeah.
really giving me like the thoughts like philosophically,
Mm,
like somehow. We start with like really higher expectation because
we
of that book.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you should have started Cleopatra and
Yeah.
Thomas. It
I was
really
gonna
humbles
say
you.
that. You should have read that and then read this, and you're like, okay, this is at least this is better than
If we
Queen.
finished Frankenstein, this could have been a 5 star.
That
Reading
is
afterwards.
true. I agree. Like the Five People You Meet in Heaven was definitely one of the best
You guys
in
still need to read
general.
the second one.
I know.
Second one was better. You know how like sequel is usually like not as good as the first one?
Mm.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it at first, reading the second one, because I had like higher expectations. But I bawled my eyes out. It was something else.
I can't wait to read it. I'll definitely read it.
Yeah.
Books.
I think overall, none of the parts were slow. It was like well paced. And I liked the story, but why did it have to be time traveling? I don't think the time traveling element wasn't incorporated well enough throughout the story.
Okay.
I think it's mostly about Miranda's daily life, and I think that was already enough. When the time traveling stuff was happening, I'm like, that's so out of the blue. Every time it was mentioned, I'm like, oh, right, that was the main part of the story, but like not really well incorporated. I don't feel that engaged to that. The format was kind of like it's like first person, but then she sometimes talks to the person. She directs someone as you. I'm
The
like,
one
who
that
are you
wrote.
talking to?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not throughout the whole story. It's like very on like few pages and
Hmm.
maybe more towards the end. So I guess it's just the format of incorporating the time traveling to a normal 12-year-old girl's life
Yeah.
was a bit off, in my opinion. Other than that, I liked the ending because I did not expect that. The gasp, I gasped out loud, right? Hee corn,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you felt the same way.
I
Yeah.
pulled my balls out. What was what was the phrase that you used?
Your eyeballs, not your balls.
Oopsie.
I love that.
But I still don't understand the time travel. When Marcus and Miranda were talking about like the whole time traveling,
Oh, when he was
it does not make
explaining
sense
it.
to me.
Okay. I knew because as I was reading it, I was like, ooh, what does Pooks think about this section of the book?
I jumped out of physics on day one. Right after that class, I told my friend, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump that class.
That
I did not understand anything. I don't think I ever will. So you don't have to try hard.
okay.
You can try. You can try to give a brief explanation
Okay. Should I try?
if you want to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I also agree with you on like a lot of the points that you made. I gave it a 3.75 because of the format. It was so confusing throughout it. Up until the middle towards the end of the book, it started to clear up more. But while I was reading it, when she starts talking to the person that is leaving the letters for her, when she says you and then talks to them, I'm that was getting me so confused. There was like a lot of points where she said things, but we had no context. So it was just so confusing because I was like, okay, what am I supposed to make out with this information? But then as you read, it starts to circle back to what she was saying. You're like, oh, this makes sense. This is what she was talking about. Overall, I really liked it, and I really did like the time travel aspect. But I agree with you when you said that at points of the book you forgot that that was even in the plot. I agree with that. That did happen a couple of times, but I feel like I only got more interested in the book after she delved deeper in the time travel stuff. When we started to know more about the Laughing Man, all the notes, and like all of that stuff. Doctor No, did you get to the part where Marcus is explaining to Miranda about how time travel works?
No.
So basically, throughout this book, Miranda's reading A Wrinkle in Time, I think, and that book is about time travel and everything like that. And then Marcus is explaining to her that the characters didn't make it back in time
Oh, to her own timeline
in
in
the
the
book
book.
that she's reading. Yeah. And then she's like, that doesn't make sense. But then he's like, if they actually time traveled, they would have seen themselves 5 minutes before they left. Because let's say I'm right here right now, but then in 2 minutes, I will time travel back to this moment. I
Then you
would
would see
see
yourself.
myself. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would see myself from 2 minutes ago here. But then after 2 minutes pass, I wouldn't see myself because I'm back here.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. So you get that.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, basically.
Now that you explain it,
It's just the way he was explaining it was kind of confusing, but
yeah, it was too wordy.
yeah, what he kept emphasizing is that time is just an idea that we think of. Instead of thinking of it as a time, we think of it as what happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
if I did this and we don't think let me not get into it because I'm confusing myself. But Mr. No, do you want us to give
Yeah.
you like a brief summary of what happens after the point that you're at? Just
Yeah.
so we talk more about.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know who the Laughing Man is, right?
The homeless man?
Yeah.
Or
So you know how he like does random kicks and like he says random stuff and all of that?
yeah.
And do you remember the naked people that she was talking about that were running off in the streets?
No.
Basically in town there's like this naked guy that runs in the street and whenever he's running they don't let them go out for lunch so they keep them in school to
Mm.
avoid them seeing the running man. That all matters because the laughing man is actually Marcus from the future.
Wait, then who's the naked man?
It's also Marcus from the future,
Oh,
He also time traveled.
not young Marcus, old Marcus.
so
Yeah.
young Marcus doesn't know.
Young Marcus does not know, no. That's where it gets confusing because young Marcus saw old Marcus, but he can see him, but he just doesn't recognize him for himself.
Who doesn't? Young Marcus?
Yeah, no one does.
But that's not the time travel I know.
That's the
The time
timeline.
travel I know is that you can't see yourself from either the future or the past. At least that's how it was in Mr. Peabody. I don't know if you
I've
guys know
never
that movie.
seen. I've never seen Mr. Peabody. Mr.
It's
Peabody and Sherman?
yes, it's
I
so
don't.
good.
I just know the name. I don't know what it
It's
is.
so good. I watched it 3 times. But yeah, that's what he said. I'm quoting him.
From what I understood, the man that was running
Mm.
was Marcus testing out time travel.
Oh.
So every time he was back there, there was like a random guy running naked. It was him. He was just testing out how it would work.
So
Yeah,
the way he was testing was being naked?
that's the thing. Marcus says in the book, Marcus says that the whole time traveling thing that he had figured out, it doesn't allow you to carry things with you. It's like very limited. So the letters that Marcus is leaving behind, that he's bringing back, he's carrying it in his mouth because
Oh.
he can't have stuff on him.
Yeah.
That includes clothes. He has to time travel naked
Oh,
here.
that's why.
Yeah,
So he's that
briefly
homeless man?
touches.
Oh.
Yes, Marcus is the homeless man. It took Marcus that long to like actually figure out what to do to time travel. That's why he's like an old, like close to death homeless man when he's actually figured it out.
Does young Marcus know that it's him?
No.
Only Miranda knows? Or
Yes.
only us knows? How come Miranda didn't tell him?
So you know how Miranda's talking about how you asked me to write that letter? Like you is the laughing man, basically. Throughout the book, she's talking to the laughing man, and she's saying you asked me to write that letter because old Marcus, the one that time traveled successfully, in his last letter, he asked Miranda to write out a letter and explain everything to young Marcus. That was the letter that he asked her to write. It was for young Marcus to know about everything that happened.
Then how does the loop happen?
How does the what?
The loop? Because it's like the young Marcus becomes the old Marcus, but
So it keeps
Yeah, it
it's like
just,
spinning.
yeah. Because the fate of old Marcus is to come back and save Sal and die there. That's how old Marcus dies. He dies saving Sal.
Hmm.
Oh, let me get into that because you didn't read that part. So Sal is the one that's about to die
Yeah.
because after Marcus punched Sal,
Mm.
Sal was like scared of Marcus. So we get to this point in the book where Sal's like walking in the streets and then the boys they say stuff and irritate him and Sal lashes out. And then at the same time that Sal lashes out, Marcus leaves his house and Sal sees Marcus and then he gets like I guess scared or doesn't want to interact with him, so he starts running. And then Marcus starts running after him because he wants to apologize for punching him or something like that. And then Sal just keeps running, and then Marcus is like, "Stop, don't like stop running." And Miranda's there. She's also asking Sal to stop, but then Sal keeps running, and then there's this truck that's coming, and the laughing man is on the opposite side, kicks Marcus out of the way, and then
he
the
gets
laughing
hit.
man gets hit. Yeah, and Sal goes to the hospital, but he's alive. At the end of it, he's alive.
So only the old Marcus dies.
Yeah. When old Marcus kicks to save Sal, his shoe flies off. And that shoe is actually Richard's shoe. And on the bottom of the shoe is the last letter.
How come Marcus has Richard's shoes?
He was the one that stole the key to break in and leave the first letter in Miranda's bag.
But why Richard's shoes
He
was
took,
stolen?
because he was naked. He had no shoes.
He stole all that in the beginning so that Miranda believes what's gonna
Believes
happen.
him.
Yeah,
Mm,
in the next two notes.
Marcus, when he was dying, like hitting by the truck, he wasn't naked.
no, because he had stolen clothes. Like the laughing man. The reason
Oh.
why it was successful is because old Marcus, like the last version of Marcus that we know, stayed there for a long time up until he saved. You know how it was like
Oh,
he
oh,
stayed in
right,
the
right,
same
right,
spot.
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
like he never moved because he didn't know when the day was coming. So he He stayed in that, and he kept kicking to practice on how to like save Sal. And
Wow.
yeah.
I'll change the rating.
Yeah, it gets better. It really gets better. Because I feel like if I stopped rating at the point that you were at, I would have also rated it like a 2. Because that point is just so like,
It's like picking up all the clues.
yeah. But after you finish it, you're like, oh my God, like this is what was happening.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So is the Marcus the only one who's like time traveling, not the Miranda?
Yeah, only Marcus.
But why was Julia at the end?
Because Julia ends up being the woman that Marcus marries. And you know
So
how he
they
was,
time traveled together?
no, that it wasn't Julia at the end. It was just a picture of Julia in the mailbox.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was
Oh.
drawing, yeah, he drew a picture of Julia while he
Wow,
was like sleeping in the mailbox.
it's mind blowing.
I don't think I picked up all the details.
I
Me too.
changed my
This feels
rating
kind of
to
new.
4. I will actually change my rating to 4 stars.
Now
Now that
you're
I'm
like,
talking about it, yeah. It's pretty good.
it
I feel
is.
like I would have also liked it a lot more if we read it when we were younger, but I think it's pretty good. The only downside is the way she wrote the book. I feel
Mm.
like that could have been a bit better, a bit clearer. But maybe that was intentional. After hearing all of this, Dr. No, what would you
Why
rate
am
it?
I doctor though?
Oh, what can I call you now?
It's a good thing.
Yeah,
Doctor
okay.
title?
Then keep calling me doctor.
Mr. No? Prince No? Prince Song.
Yeah, Prince song no. No song?
Prince Prince No Song. What would you rate this book after hearing all of that? And would you finish it? Are you gonna finish it? Is the
I don't
question.
think she would.
I will change it to 3.8.
Hmm.
I would finish the book, but I won't.
Okay. That's good to hear.
But yeah, I don't really pick up like all the like details and like the overall in my mind when I'm reading in English yet. But the whole plot is really interesting and I would really like it. Like you guys said, if I was in middle school too.
Did you guys have like a favorite quote or
Oh, I did.
part? You did?
Yeah.
What
But
Wow.
was?
before that, I wanted to say
Hmm.
something and I forgot.
Ooh,
Get back to me.
You
sorry.
brought the whole attention.
While she remembers, Prince Song No. These are from IKEA. They're actually so good.
IKEA, they sell snack. Is it gingerbread? Gingerman cookie?
Gingerbread.
I never even tried it.
Ah!
What was it?
Did you did you guys catch that it was set in 1970s?
Yeah.
Where do they say that?
Right
Oh,
from the start.
Really?
Throughout the book, they talk about the year.
I did not. How did I miss all these details? I realized it like halfway through.
Okay.
mm,
But did you have a favorite quote?
Oh yeah.
the more I'm looking at your virtual background, 구준표, you guys look alike.
Brought it
I don't
up.
know how to take this.
And you too, Jiwoo senpai. That smile.
I think you look like Prince Song too. Yeah.
But the actual quote that I liked was, but sometimes our veils are pushed away for a few moments. There's a wind blowing it from our faces, and when the veil lifts, we can see the world as it really is. Just for those few seconds before it settles down again, we see all the beauty and cruelty and sadness and love, but mostly we're happy not to. Some people learn to lift the veil themselves, then they don't have to depend on the wind To play in the winner's circle, mom has to get herself in a certain frame of mind. She said, sort of like lifting one little corner of her veil, enough to see more than usual, but not so much that she gets totally distracted by life, death, and beauty of it all. I like that. It's like when you have a chance like that in your life, you should know to not get too distracted by that. You should know how to just like, I don't know how to like elaborate.
No, it makes sense. The
Yeah.
more you reread
When I
it,
read this part, I was like, oh,
yeah.
the deep.
Yeah, it like gets in your brain. Like it makes so much sense. And the part where she says there are people that are born without a veil, that I don't know why when I read that, that actually something happened in my brain and I was like, oh my God. Like I don't know how to explain that either, but whole like concept with the
Where does she
veil.
say that? I don't think I.
Page 68 at the end of it, where she
Hmm.
says, I've thought a lot about those veils. I wonder if every once in a while someone is
Oh, it
born
was right
without one.
underneath it.
Yeah, someone who sees the big stuff all the time, like maybe you.
I like this whole page.
Yeah, this whole things you push away, that chapter
Mm.
was really
It really
nice.
makes you think.
Yeah.
But I wonder what that Winner's Circle TV show has to do with this.
Mm, maybe it's just to represent like the time.
Mm.
The whole like thing with her mom like desperately trying her best to win this money, maybe that could also play part in it because her
Mm.
mom wants to get them to a better situation in life. Because throughout the book we see Miranda comparing, she's not outright saying it, but all the little details that she's
I thought she was a
noticing.
little brat.
Miranda?
Yeah, with those attitudes to her
Yeah.
mom.
The part where Julia's also talking about the time travel thing, but then Miranda's like not listening to her and she's like, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It was just because of all like the built-in kind of sort of a resentment towards Julia because she doesn't have what she has.
Mm.
Mm,
But then at the end of the book, she realizes like her and Julia, like no matter what they might have, they spend their days the same way. I liked her growth. I don't know. Maybe she was
mm,
bratty at certain points, but then I think definitely towards the end of the book, she
Mm.
showed growth.
mm,
Yeah. The part, like there was a point in the book where it was so random, but it made me emotional, sort of. And it was in the beginning of the book. And it's not even like that big, but it's when her mom is like setting up to practice for that game
the
show
game.
is. She's stealing office supplies from her job instead of buying the supplies for Miranda and Richard to use. The way Miranda just said it, Richard and I figured out a while ago that the more stuff mom swipes from the office supply closet, the more she's hating work. I look at the markers for a second and then get back to my word piles. Mom has to win this money. The fact that a 12-year-old is like,
Mm,
that really got to me. The fact that this 12-year-old is like thinking as desperately about wanting to help her parents financially,
mm,
not knowing how to because she's only 12. So she
mm,
just tries her best getting back into writing down as many words as she can to find a way to help her mom win this money. That was my favorite.
I remember that part, but I never thought of it that deep.
That way. Mm.
But I understand.
when I think Miranda and Richard they were like playing a game that to like explain something. Maybe it was kind of like similar point that Jihu-sama liked. The fact of the background of her family situation that she doesn't live with her father and then she's like hanging out with mom's boyfriend and like that. I don't know, it just like stood out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the writer. Like some parts that don't seem as relevant kind of stand out.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I wish it was like more adult version. Then I
Mm,
feel like she'd be really good at diving deeper into each of little thing
Yeah.
happening. But it's good as it is too.
mm,
What got me was mom not giving the key to Richard.
Mm.
I feel like that was her way of protecting. So it seems like she's like a really busy woman, not able to care as much as she
Mm.
wanted to for Miranda, but she's
In deep down
actually
her heart.
constantly thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely gets clearer that she actually cares for Miranda throughout the book, especially in the beginning when Miranda's talking about being the key child or whatever term she uses. And then in the beginning, it kind of makes you feel like, oh, is this neglect? The more we read, the
Yeah.
clearer it
I also
becomes.
like when Anne Marie comes to sleep over and then the next day mom wakes up and like calls Anne Marie's dad, asks for her favorite to make the breakfast. I thought that was so cute. And the
Yeah.
way the girl talks about it was like, oh, she wouldn't do that for me, but she's doing it for my friend. But it's actually like the love that she shows to the friend is the way she wants to do it to her own daughter.
She
If
loves
she
her
didn't
daughter.
care about her own daughter, she wouldn't do that to her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love that. I just passed by that part. I didn't really think about that as deeply, but I love that. Okay, please announce the next poem.
I have three options.
Oh,
I'll tell you guys by the genre. One is nonfiction, educational.
No.
This is why I had a hard time choosing because I wanted to choose one that everyone could enjoy. There's another nonfiction, it's a memoir. The last one is fiction.
Can we get more information since the first two are similar?
page count.
Page count.
Mm-hmm.
They're all about the same. The fiction, 352, the memoir, 384, the educational nonfiction, 336.
Memoir?
Yeah, I was debating between memoir or the fiction one, but I think
Me
memoir too.
too.
Yeah.
It's Oh Know My Name by Chanel Miller.
That's a good rating.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really high.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was known to the world as Emily Doe when she stunned millions with the letter. Rock Turner had been sentenced to just 6 months in county jail after he was found sexually assaulting her on Stanford's campus. Her victim impact statement was posted on BuzzFeed, where it instantly went viral, viewed by 11 million people within 4 days. It was translated globally and read on the floor of Congress. It inspired changes in California law and the recall of the judge in the case. Thousands wrote to say that she has given them the courage to share their own experiences of assault for the first time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Do having these discussions help change the way you look at the book?
Definitely this, especially for this book.
Hmm. Do you think it helps the way you viewed the book, like the way you rated it as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I
Because
just wanted to.
you both pointed out the part that I wouldn't really think deeply if it was not mentioned. It all makes sense once you explain it. So it
Yeah.
just made it more richer of the book
Yeah.
itself.
I like how like, each one of us kind of noticed a different part of the story. And I love
Mm-hmm.
that we're talking about that. It just means a lot more to like
Mm.
discuss the book and get so deep into it. But yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to know. I was just curious.
And whenever you talk, I just stay quiet because it feels like I'm relearning about this book. So I'm like fascinated. I don't have much to add.
At some point, you were also asking questions to Nana as I was like learning about the book.
Yeah, because I missed all those details.
As if
Maybe I
she's the
should slow
author.
down. I should slow down a bit more. I kind of just like take it in as it is.
Mm,
Uh,
Maybe that's why I like memoirs.
mm.
But this type of stuff, mystery, fantasy,
mm,
time traveling,
Time
is
travel. Yeah.
unheard of in my life other than
mm.
Mr. Peabody. So,
I love, I love this discussion actually.
I'm so glad.
Thank you for hosting it though.
yeah.
I get so excited when we're closer to the meeting day. I
That's
really,
so cute.
I hope we could keep doing this for a long time.
Aww.
I love
We,
this. I wish we could do it in person. That'd be so fun. Oh,
I know. We need to host one in person.
Should we do it next week?
I'd be down. We could finish the book.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up. That's it for today's F4 Pooks Books.
keep
Keep
reading,
reading and we'll
And we'll
see
see
you
you in
in
the
the
Don't forget